Are we live? I should be live and I should be heard loud and clear. If not, I apologize. People, deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Good evening to those of you in the UK. While it's a good evening affair for you guys, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending on where else you guys are stationed in this world, people. And I appreciate all the support. Please make sure you're hitting the like button and subscribing to both not only my YouTube channel, but also my Twitch Q&A show exclusively to Twitch tomorrow at 4 p.m. I will be doing for the members, for my YouTube channel members. You have your Q&A tomorrow as well. Obviously, DG podcast will be out tomorrow, and whatever Arsenal have to talk about in terms of what's the word? Whatever be the transfer rumors, we'll talk. So the content doesn't stop, people. Or am I capping to someone? I don't think it's tomorrow. I'm capping to you lot. The members Q&A is on Saturday. I was lying, but here it is, man. Omar said, I can't lie. I thought this was a pre-recorded video. I can't win with you lot, Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Certain people sit here and say, DG, I love the content, but can you cut up some clips? Can you give us timestamps? I do all of that. Obviously, with that, I do the little premiere things for you lot so you lot can talk in the live chat as you're watching it. People say, I thought it's a pre-recorded video. Where are you, deluded? This, that, and the third. I can't win. Tino, don't back him. I can't win, man. I can't win with you guys, but I appreciate you lot supporting the thing. Now I'm actually here still, big up G1. Facts, it's extra time. If you don't know what he's talking about, unfortunately, towards the end of my live stream the last one at 11:30 a.m., the normal time, there was some technical difficulties and, it was spoiling. And I didn't get to speak about Lautaro Martinez and this Bellerin thing. I didn't get to talk about quite a lot of things with you guys, people, and it kind of ruined it. I tried to fight it, but it's the second leg. It's like he said, it's the second leg. It's extra time. Hopefully there's no issues here. I've been doing a madness since I've left you lot. Yeah, I've been here, there, and everywhere, taking care of life admin and things that we all hate to do, but they're necessary. And I've also been trying to find the root cause of such. But yeah, we're going to talk about Guimarães, going to see what's going on with Ben White. Allegedly, Odegaard is just keen on a loan spell at this football club, and whatever other shenanigans Arsenal are doing and whatnot. Now, as I say that, okay, cool. I thought I didn't have the Bruno Guimarães thing up for you. So yeah, Jaden, the grind never stops. Football never sleeps. I have to keep going. Big up Joe. What have you said? Guimarães and Odegaard for 70 mil over Madison. Sell Laka to Lyon, assuming they want his wages in exchange for Bruno Guimarães. Save some money and bring in Lautaro. We eating good. Joe, if it's as streamlined as that, we're eating good. But as you know, it ain't that easy, man. Like my guy Princess said, hit the like button while we wait. I apologize for keeping you lot waiting a couple of minutes. Apologies also. We all gotta eat, man. And like I said, I hope you all had a good day. I hope you've all had a good week as we approach Friday and the week's about to be done. I hope tomorrow you can all sit back and think, yo, I've accomplished something. I'm closer towards whatever goals and aspirations I have of myself than I was on Monday. And if you're not, we go again. Simple as that. I'm wishing everybody locked in and everyone who's definitely hit the like button and subscribed and all of those things. Big up the members, moderators, subscribers, supporters, and whatnot. Wishing you lot, as always, physical health, mental health, in a positive way, financial freedom. I hope you lot win the lottery and all of those sort of things, however you get it, If you ain't hit the like button and you're a hater, I hope I'm not bad mind, so I'm not gonna sit here and wish a whole heap of madness on you. But I do hope you bang your little toe. I do hope you get an unexpected high bill. I do hope your girlfriend or boyfriend leaves you, and all the dead things. The man said DG back from the gulag. We're out. We saying I'm back. So, I ain't played PlayStation for time, but my friends didn't even like playing that. What's it called? Warzone with me. Because again, they'll show you I'm one of them, man. I don't give a crap about the tactics. I'm breaking windows. I'm running off by myself. People always have to spend money to bring me back. I'm doing a lot of pointless stuff because I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Shout out the Twitch gang. Jay, I appreciate you. Santi Cazzola, I appreciate you. How was your mission around London, DG? All sorted. Didn't get everything done. Got a bulk of things done. It was absolute madness. But as I just said about you, I'm closer than I was yesterday, innit? Rome weren't built in a day. So I'm closer in it. I don't enjoy it, of course. I don't enjoy being on the underground. I don't enjoy taking the overground. I don't enjoy London in that regards, but it is what it is. We got through it, man. My man said, I'm sure it's pre-recorded. You're here, bro. I'm here. I'm here. I always think let some pre-recorded vid go out in the afternoon / late evening / early evening as you lot are coming in from work and all of those sort of things and college and school and whatever, you know. I can't win with you lot at all, but I try, man. God loves a trial, man. They caught you early. It was 1-1. It's gone to extra time. DG, not gonna like the moment I'm worried we'll be out of Europe again, bro. I hear you, man, but you see, with Arsenal, let's just take every day as it comes, in it. I hear that. Let's deal with that in May or whenever it's looking unlikely. Right now, we still mathematically have a chance. Right now, our only concern should be the lack of movement in terms of outgoings and incomings. I'm not gonna say we haven't worked on things or there's not any exciting things out of preseason, but yeah, I don't really know what my team's about. I don't really know who's the key players. I don't really know what's going on. Like for me against Brentford, based on what I'm seeing, you know, nothing to do with Marie, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to see Marie, potentially Ben White in midfield. I'd love to see Lokonga. I hope we play Lokonga. I think we're going to see El Nene and Partey. This is assuming nothing changes. You know me, I'd give Callum Chambers the nod at right back people over other people, but it is what it is. Maitland-Niles is probably departing based on rumors. And I mean, as we approach August, I hope we start to see some movement and whatnot, because it's all fun and dandy being part of preseason. But I'd like to think some of you, or if I was them Halen boys and Nketiah, Joe Willock and Maitland, if I am to leave on loan permanently or whatever, I know you've got to assess options and whatnot, but I'd want to do it nice and early. Get more settled in my team. Be there before the season starts. Because obviously, if a manager's bringing you in whatever capacity he rates you, but I'm of the belief you've got to earn your spot in the team. So the quicker I get into this new environment, the quicker I can show the manager what I'm about and why I deserve to be one of the starting 11 in and amongst this 25-man squad. So I do want to see some movement. And for these players, they're not necessarily the young ones. Go and just get on with your footballing futures, man. Like, come on, there's just too much soap operas at the football club, but it is what it is, man. As I said, I hope you're doing well and safe. I'm having a great day. As I said, I'm blessed to have the supporters group and the fan base and whatever you want to refer to as DG Nation, whatever that you guys are. You lot say positive things. You're encouraging. You have a growth mindset. We've got a diverse set of range of people, man, woman, white, black, different countries, and there's no nonsense here. And then again, you know, obviously we're going against a lot in society. We're the minority good ones in and amongst a madness, but it just reminds me to stay positive, man, because you lot really do make my day. I'm not just saying that, man, on an honest one, man. You're excited for the opener, V. You know what? I can't really answer that, but just because I think it tests myself again, assuming nobody else is signed my bro, and obviously going on what we have. Leno starts for me in goal. I think Marie's looked good in pre-season personally, and Gabriel's out. So Pablo, Marie, and I would say Ben White, but probably going to be holding, in my humble opinion. Like I said, I'd go Ben White, Marie, Tierney picks himself. If a right back isn't signed, which I want, then I'm going with Callum Chambers at right back. Like I said, if I haven't made clear, Leno in goal, assuming he stays, and that one there drags on. In midfield, I would go for Lokonga. I think it's going to be on Nene and Partey. I would just you might as well just throw Lokonga in there. Lokonga and Partey, Smith Rowe in the 10. Up front, I'd go with Aubameyang through the middle. Probably should be Lacazette, but I'd go Aubameyang through the middle. Smith Rowe in the 10 if I haven't made that clear. Aubameyang up front. Pepe / Saka on the left or right. I don't really care. Just put them in the team. That makes up my 11, assuming nothing changes, man. So yeah, I hope you're doing well and safe, man. DG, the dude getting downed in the opening like 6 times, but somehow clutching the match 360 no score. Yeah, I do stuff like that. I mean, you know, my proudest moment on Warzone still was, you see, at the end when the thing's closing, I did a madness. There was a team on me. I did an absolute madness. And what's that thing where your whole team dies and you grab something and there's a ransom and if you stay alive, they're back. I've done a couple hits. I'm not the guy, but I try, man. I'm a loyal soldier to the cause. Bayern Munich fan here. Love watching this channel. Been supporting for a while now. MP, I appreciate that, man. It means a lot. Does Osei Tutu have a chance? I don't know. I don't work for Arsenal or no, but I suppose everyone has a chance. I would say it probably looks unlikely, you know. Again, I think he's a decent player. I think he's at the stage now you probably need to engineer a permanent move away from the club and settle down consistent roots, because he's stuck in that little trap some young players find, in my opinion, in that pre-season. Well, not that he's been about the first team like that. He's been with the 23. So that tells you it in itself that he hasn't got a future here, in my opinion. And I want him to, because he's Lend and whatnot. And also, you know, I'm talking about buying a right back. You've got Callum Chambers, Bellerin, Maitland-Niles, Cedric. They all could leave. They've all got respective clouds over their futures, but they're all ahead of him. So probably needs to leave. Didn't necessarily stand out at Cardiff as much as I love him. So you can never rule out anything. You know, Emre was rating him. So I'm sure some of the coaches or certain people internally in the club must be. But I'd say it's probably time to keep it moving, if I'm completely honest with you. Another dose of reality, DG Wavy. I'm sorry if you want reality, man. I want you lot to escape, man. Would you rather Aouar or Guimarães? Guimarães, apologies. It's difficult, man, because as an Arsenal man, love the French ties. I'm a big fan of Aouar, but Bruno's different. A bit of Brazilian bias there. I'm cool with either one. I got to sit on the fence, man. I got to sit on the fence. Because I like both of them, and I think, you know, if you're watching Olympics, Bruno's doing all right. Not that you can read too much into the Olympics, in my humble opinion, but he's doing all right. I like Aouar, you know, like I said, Brazilian bias, Arsenal man, come up under Arsene Wenger, French bias. It's difficult, man. I'm happy with either one, Jude. I'm sorry. I'm cool with either one. We got to flip a coin or something, man. I'm cool with either one. I really am. I really, really am. That's a good question, though. And I apologize that I can't answer that. What should I call the first opening 11 minutes? Because I think there should be a timestamp in itself. General Arsenal thoughts, transfer market opinions, Arsenal v Brentford. 11, let's call it that. 245 of you locked in, people. It's warming up, it's getting hot. I need to put on my fan, or better yet, I'm lying, the fan's actually on. It needs to come closer, and I almost just mashed up the set. Maybe this is why I shouldn't have got up. Almost just mashed up the light. I apologize. Please make sure you've hit that like button. You're subscribed on YouTube, you're subscribed on Twitch. Deluded Gooner on Twitch. I need you all there at 4 p.m. Q&A business. I can't have a Q&A without myself. One love to everyone who's done that already. One love to everyone who's already made a mental note. I'm never going to be a sado and ask myself questions. You lot scared me at the first one. I thought you lot weren't turning up, but I know no one likes to be early for a rave. It is what it is. What else are you lot saying before we get into everything? And like I said, in relation to earlier, I apologize for technical difficulties. Obviously, it's out of my control. What else are we saying, man? I love it when you lot ask questions, to be honest with you. Guendouzi got thrown in and swam. I'm not against it. I'm not against throwing man in at the deep end at all, but I do think you can never tarnish players with one brush. Like, what's good for Saka's development might not be good for our next guys. I think with young players, people don't deep it, but they're all different. And I think when people understand them from a psychological point of view, it might be different. Like, there might be things that Nelson's not the best example, but in fact he is. Nelson might not be anywhere near the first team on Saka's level, but there's probably certain things. If you teach Saka to do it, he might struggle and Nelson might excel, and vice versa, sort of thing. So how you might get the best out of Saka, or how your communication skills to teach one guy something might be completely different. You know, in a squad, I don't like to say it, but you have softer players. Anyone that's managed understands this. There's certain players you can F in and blinding and cuss them, and they're not going to hold it against you. Certain other guys are going to give it back to you. Certain people are just going to hold it and keep going. Certain people are going to crumble. Certain people are going to want to fight you. You're going to have certain players where you can't even speak to like that. You got to always tell them how good they are, be a bit softer, put a little arm around them. You know, there's all these sort of things. That's why man management is more important than anything, any sort of tactics and them things there, in my opinion, in today's age. When you add that, player power has never been as strong, you know. Back in the days, players did force moves, but if a player says I'm unhappy, bro, you're in trouble. There's bare headlines, managers under pressure, being asked it 1,000 times in the press conference. There's no getting away from ish like that. I appreciate everybody locked in, man. Apparently, one of you moderators said Grealish is signing for Manchester City this week, and apparently Man City are now in direct contact with Aston Villa for Grealish. Negotiations on going to reach an agreement, not going to take long, decision to be made in the next few days. Someone needs to sit here and tell us who Arsenal are signing. Then, like, if they know something we don't, there's some elite dons around us. That guy Bruno is interesting. Man said other people's goats, Messi, my goat, DG, Sammy. I appreciate that. I can't be your goat though, man. I'm happy to just be a humble Mesut Ozil and assist something. What else have we got? Love the streams and interactivity. Boy, I almost struggled to say that word. I can't lie. Would love a more produced / structured round of your topics though, so I can send a more concise one to my friends, especially on youth or how prospects fit in. Keep doing your thing, man. Appreciate the constructive criticism. I'll see what I can do in that regards. But I do separate youth content to help you, man. Obviously, as I level up the product, will get better, and hopefully you'll get exactly what you're looking out for. But one love for the constructive criticism, one love for the support, man. That's the key thing in life, man. You see, I love stuff like that. Very heartwarming and wholesome. A man said, "BG, would you pick Bernardo Silva over Madison and Odegaard for the right price?" Hell yeah. I can't lie to you, lot. I can't. It's probably not wise, but yeah. Probably, but Bruno Bernardo Silva, apologies, is our bad boy. Squad is so far behind those challenging for top 4/6, and we still look unsure in the market. Will also be a massive job getting these new guys to gel together if we do end up getting these new additions, and that's where the manager has to manage. You have to see coaching and them things there. You're not wrong at all. Silver madness. I mean, you gotta be humble. Life has humbled me, or in general, life humbles people, and it doesn't get anywhere. Please stop spamming. You're just gonna get blocked. It's not gonna get you anywhere. But you have to be humble. You don't want life to humble you, and I know that no matter how far I go, I have to remember the people that were there from the start. Cause when these big folks and stuff trying to start, you know, getting onto me and whatnot, people that really know where my integrity is at, understand it, and the same rope you climb up on, the same rope they're gonna hang you with. So if you forget yourself, you're gonna get reminded, and it's not gonna be nice at all, really. What are your opinions on Bruno? You think he'll be good enough? I do think he's a good player. And with that, we might as well get into Bruno Guimarães. In fact, people, 16 minutes and 40 seconds, let's call it. Please make sure you hit the like button. Like, for what it's worth, I like Bruno Guimarães. I'm about to say Fernandez. I do like Fernandez. I think he can play in that 8 role. He can play a bit more advanced. I think he's very good with in terms of a passing range. Not gonna lie, I did expect him to make more of an impact at Lyon. I know I'm not watching Lyon week in, week out, but I thought his name would have been ringing a bit more bells than it has. But he is a good player. If I remember correctly, he is a player we did try to get in the season or in the months running up to when he did join Lyon. So again, you'd imagine Edu, for being Brazilian anyways, you should know about him. But working within the Brazilian setup, you should know exactly what he's good at, where he's bad at, where, more people that have worked with him for club and country national level before he moved to Europe, what's their opinions on him, and then get painting a better picture. And then obviously, if we know his strengths and weaknesses and whatnot, and there's able to be a deal done, then he should be a decent player. Of course, Lyon, you hear they need money. You hear a lot said about the TV rights sort of stuff in Liga. I'm not really clued up on that. But for what it's worth, I think it will tie into what we're trying to do. I'm not too sure if Lyon want to let all of these players go. As you lot know, Depay has left. It looks like, but Bruno, who we're talking about, in theory, could leave. Hossam Aouar, his teammate, we've been linked with. There's a couple of other players that have been linked with moves away. And, their president, Ulas, is never shying away from center attention. 300 odd people in here. Please make sure you hit the like button. So he is a player that's been on our radar. I don't know if there's any truth to it, or if there's any legs to this rumor just based off the previous sort of links to it. But I like it because in theory, the more names I see linked in a certain role, in theory, and this isn't true, in theory there should be plan A's and B's and so on and so forth, because it just seems, for me as an Arsenal fan, we go down this thing where we're linked with a whole bunch of names, and then all certain other names get rubbed out, and then it all becomes propaganda pieces and just focused on one player. We start hearing we're talking to the agents, we're doing all of these things, and ultimately it doesn't work out. Now, unless it's Messi or Neymar, you should be prepared to have other targets. If we can't get Bruno, can you get Aouar? You can't get Aouar, can you get Maddison? Because obviously it's fun talking about all of these names, but fundamentally, I know it's easier said than done, and it's hard. No one signed for the club. And as Arsenal fans, we've been down this road a long time where our imagination is being aroused with bare different guys that are very good. Again, we've got fans to the point now where they say, F that, we want both. We want Odegaard and Maddison, or we want Maddison and Aouar rather than either or. But then it doesn't mean nothing if come the end of the window you either get no one or you get some sort of past it player that's going to be exposed because you're not going to guard against him, and it just looks like penny pinching. So it wouldn't surprise me if we're linked with him. If there's any legs to this, legit legs beyond the fact that we have liked him before, we have looked at him, I don't know. But for what it's worth, Arsenal put Bruno Guimarães on radar and assess the attack on the Lyon midfielder. English club even tried to hide this is courtesy of Google Translate on goal.com for what it's worth. The English club even tried to hire the Brazilian in January 2020, but he was already agreed with the French and kept his word. As I said, he's been one of the best players for Brazil at the Tokyo Olympic Games. I don't want to read too much into the Olympics personally, but he is someone that has been monitored by Arsenal, and it would make logical sense if we tried to get him, Lyon tried to get him, we didn't get him. Keep looking at him because we've bought players off Lyon in the past. Like I said, seeing how he adapts to life in Europe, and I still think there's a lot of adaptation to go. I don't think he set the world alight, but he is a decent guy. I really do like him. The English team has already made some consultations with Lyon and is evaluating the possibility of making a proposed official. I assume it meant to say official offer for the midfielder. Our interest in Bruno goes a long way back. We tried to sign him in January 2020, as reported. And apparently, despite the desire to keep Bruno Guimarães, Lyon need cash. Not qualifying for the Champions League made the club fail to earn almost 120 million euros. Also, according to Goal Counting, the French team is only willing to start the conversations with proposals above 35 million euros. Isn't that more than what we're allegedly told in relation to Aouar? Now, there are other variables in terms of Aouar. There could all be sensitive topics around personal terms to make it might not be a thing. You know, the fee might not be a thing. It might be terms. I don't know. I'm just speculating. We know, as I've said, I don't need to read all of that. We know Edu Gaspar has looked at him. Apparently, we've placed a bid for Locatelli, which we all know he wants Juventus, so it hasn't gone anywhere. So we'll have to see what happens in that regards, people, if there's any legit legs into this. But that's where it says. And I would like him. I would like him a lot, man. You know, he's someone that I think is very cultured. He's got a good passing range. I can't lie. I don't have him down as a goal scoring midfielder. That's why I'm actually trying to see how many goals the man has. Actually tell you the truth, really. But again, I think he would help us. I think he would be a good partner for Partey. Obviously, he's 23 years of age, so there's a lot of the same age as Ben White. So you've not only got to see the player he is, but what he can be. Because again, forgive me if I'm wrong, did he go to the Copa America? Because I know Richarlison went to both. If he went to both, forgive me. But if he didn't, why did he go to one and not the other? There's a lot of development to be done. He's tied down for 3 more years. You know, he's under contract for a longer period of time than Aouar. So it would take more of a significant investment. And Lyon, they know how to negotiate. And they're not going to let him go cheaply for what it's worth. Statistics, all seasons. I don't know why I clicked that. Hopefully it just takes me back to what it was. For Lyon, he's only got 3 goals, 2 assists. So he's not a goal scoring midfielder, but I do think he can create. He is, you know, he can dictate. I think in a low block, he'll want the ball and he'll want to try and pass it. Other people at this club won't do that. 406 of you locked in. Please make sure you're subscribing on Twitch and you're hitting the like button. I'm trying to look at his statistics clearly from last season. Let's just click on Lyon. Oh, what's going on here? I'm bugging out. A man said last season. That's not last season, is it, people? And I'm doing it. Am I doing it again? No, that's actually the right one. Apologies, people. Let's see what happens now. So yeah, man, he played 33 games last season, so he's not done too bad in terms of being able to stay fit and things like that. Wasn't the best of campaigns from Lyon, and a byproduct of that wasn't the best of campaigns from any of their players, if you're honest. But for what it's worth, as I said, I will take him with open arms, assuming we can get it done. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in relation to that. Yeah, that's Bruno Guimarães done. What are you guys saying? Let me remove the good old Google doc sheet. That guy Bruno is interesting. Would you be happy if we got Laturo, Odegaard, and Bruno, but no right back, or is a right back tied with the most important with his centre back? I'm not going to sit here and cap Joe. You know, it's illogical. It goes amongst everything I'm saying, but I don't like to lie to you. Which is fairy tale world, if you manage to get Bruno, Odegaard, and Laturo, then I am going to care about a right back, but I'm not. I'm going to get gas because, all right, cool. You've got an 8/10. You've got a striker. Let's see what we can do. We might be able to get away with it if we're more on the offensive, you know, because you can get away for 38 games. It's not sustainable, but you can get away with a poor player if we offer a bit more, because in a form of defense is attack. But at the same time, my guy, I do think a right back is vital, and I do think we'd be missing a trick because What's the point signing a backup left back to go with Teeny, having some depth, signing a centre half to go with Ben White and Gabriel when fit in terms of longevity, to then not sort out a right back? What's going on there? And again, potentially in goal. I think you can move forward with Leno. He's not my cup of tea, but he's not a bad keeper. The problem is, does he want to stay or go? Suddenly, you've got question marks over who has the ability to play right back. And does the keeper actually want to, almost not knocking stuff down, does the keeper actually want to be here? So, why do we like to do things half-baked? We like to start things and then leave it. It doesn't make sense. We leave jobs half done. It's like cowboy builders. They take half of your money or all of it up front in some cases and leave the job half done and bust out and go to a next job and just keep repeating it. We're in love with unfinished projects. We don't see things to the end. If remember, there's been seasons we've signed a striker, we've got no creative man, no strikers, DM, no, a more whether it's been a defensive mid, a box to box man, a ball winning midfielder, you've got one of them, but you ain't got the number 8 to play next to them. You've got the number 8, but you ain't got that. You've got one good centre back, you've got rubbish other centre backs, you've got a good left back, you've got dodgy right backs, you've got keepers that can't catch, but they're good with their feet. You've got keepers that can catch, but they're not, but they're not good with their feet. We love it. We have a fetish for unfinished projects, and it kills me. It really does. It really does pain me and kill me. And until we solve these things, it's a myth, my guy, man. We love it. Like I said, we love unfinished projects. Unfinished projects. As I said, please make sure you're hitting that like button. Let me drop the Twitch link in the chat for you guys, and let me follow it up with also the DG merch link. Big up to everyone who's been supporting the team. Yeah, in theory, for what it's worth, as I said, but if you get them, man, and if buts and whatever are two different things, but would love it, man. A man said, just cracked open a can listening to King DG. I'm living my best life. Sammy, boss, another one for me, please, my guy. Appreciate you for being locked in and lovely to see you relaxing. DG thoughts on Locatelli. I love him, If Sonolio was fit, I don't know if you would have been in the squad, but I don't know if you would have had the Euros movie you had in terms of scoring. But I love him. Box to box, can dribble, can score, can dictate the tempo of a game, can play football, quality player. But, Arsenal, Juventus, there's no contest, at least at this moment in time. I'd still remember when we beat Juventus and Cesc Fabregas showed Vieira what levels in midfield that game. So I love Locatelli, but the man don't want to sign for us. He'd rather just stay at Sassuolo for another year and see if Juventus can fix up what they're doing with their finances before signing for us. So a quality player, but it's a myth, innit? What youngsters do you want to be played more this season? It's difficult, man. Obviously when the cup games come around, me, I'd love to see Aziz, Patino, every young player you see me speak about within Arsenal's academy. I'd love to see them. Tyrese has gone out on loan at Blackpool, or I would have said him as well. If you're talking realistically, I would love to see Aziz get some more minutes, but again, I think he's got a long way to work before he's ever in the Arsenal Premier League fixture squad on a long-term basis. As much as I like him, if Nelson's here, which I don't think be the case, like to see him play. Balogun, I think too many people are being unfair on Balogun. The man hasn't played a full season as a professional footballer. He hasn't played 10 games. 10 90-minute games at that. And man, not that they shouldn't believe in him, but I just feel people are putting him in ultimately a role he can't fulfill at this moment in time. Like saying, sell Lacazette and Aubameyang and play Balogun. Suddenly, you're looking at someone to get 20 league goals that's never done it before. I would love him to be that fairy tale and be this hail and killing Mbappe, which probably can't happen, but you're putting unnecessary pressure on him. That's why I can see logic in letting Lacazette still run down, as much as I want money and cash and all of these sort of things. So, I would say I'd like to see. I would have loved for Balogun to get opportunities towards the end of last season, because testament to him, he's looking sharp in pre-season. But I would have thought he might have even been able to look sharper, because you don't know what to expect until you've expected something. There's only so much training you can do, and I think, as I keep saying, I sound like a broken record. Towards the end of our towards the end of our season, when it become abundantly clear we're not getting Europe, I did feel you could have given him a start. You could have given him a 5, a 10, a 20 minutes here and there, just so he understands the levels. Martinelli, if he wants to play up front, he's going to learn a lot from that West Bromwich Albion game, because He had a good game, but from a physical point of view, he couldn't do nothing to Kyle Bartley or his partner Semi Ajayi. So there's a lot of lessons to be learnt. So I would say Balogun, of course, that's the main one for me, really, because as much as I want all these young players to get game time, Aziz as well waiting in the wings. I think it's a time for stability, getting things right, consistent lineup. And as much as I want young players, I don't think there's too much of that. I would love to see Martinelli get real game time if you're including him as well, like real game time. But I don't know when that's gonna come because the man's been playing at the Olympics and all of those sort of things. Want to get chances. Sorry, people. Timestamps. So yeah, that's what I feel. Interesting questions, man. I appreciate all the support you guys give me. Not confident. Sorry, Toby. You just come up now. Not confident with us getting a decent right back this window. Almost no traction on possible signings. And hopefully, to be honest, when Arsenal's linked with something a lot, sometimes it means we don't do it, man. At what point are we going to stop telling Thomas Partey to stop shooting? His misses are becoming a bit of a meme. Bro, you keep shooting till you score, man. I respect it, Partey, man. I'd keep Aziz at least until January. Nah, that's why I said it. That's what I said, Navarre, when I'm talking about dictating the tempo of a game. Of course, I know about key stats and stuff. That's why I said he's got the ability to dictate a tempo of the game. While I also said at the same time, I want goals and that from midfield. Nelson was filthy against Barte. I thought he was the next Mahrez. And it's shameful because I felt if he never got injured around that December period, I felt he might have got a chance there. You see how not Nelson, Smith Rowe got his opportunities there. I think he might have. Probably not, but I thought so. Happy Emancipation Day, Kevin. Big up DG, sending blessings from sunny Bermuda. Would love to be there right now, man. Who do you think is going to be our deadline day signing? Because it's always a late one. I don't know, my guy, man. I hope it's these hours, these Litoro Martinez, and all of these sort of things, man. But again, a blind man could see we don't need to. We have no chance of getting Martinez, in my humble opinion, man. I don't want the water. What's this? Big up DG. Still comeback season even after today. Come on, man. Come on, man. We have to, man. I don't think it is, man. It's a myth. Martinez is a myth. I don't rate Bruno. To be fair, it's not. I hear you, but just in general, man, it's not to you, but it's not about rating them. Can he do a job and do it well? And I think he can. Like I think he like Navarre said, he's not a signing that's gonna get goals and assists, but dictating the tempo of a game, allowing other people to shine, having the competency in the middle of the park. I think he's got it. He's not the first target I would like. I'd rather you know what, I answered your question. I'd rather Our now that I'm more thinking about it. But I do like him. And for me, if the club have done their due diligence and tried to buy him, then we must have tried to sign off. I think the article said we tried to grab him last January. Arteta was here. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Was he not? So if we know that much about the player, then why not? Because he should be able to hit the ground running, and we should know his weaknesses to how to improve him and all of those sort of things and whatnot, man. So it is what it is. I hear you, though. I hear you. And with that, though, we might as well get into Lautaro Martinez and Hector Bellerin. Now, there's talk of a swap deal. Inter Milan, apparently, for what it's worth, there is several other articles saying Arsenal's interest in Lautaro Martinez is a bit more legit. Now, for me, it's not that I don't mind being linked with a striker, but it's like we're linked to doing bare things and we're doing nothing. Surely we should focus on getting Ben White. And if we have the team and the resources, we can do many things, but you don't get that vibe from us. Surely it should be getting Ben White over the line, which looks like it's happening. Getting a midfielder in and then the strikers, because again, it would be Arsenal to have question marks over the spine of your team and go for a striker. I'm not saying we don't need a striker. I'm not saying I don't want one. I'm just saying, before you get to that end of the pitch, the ball's got to go from one end to the other. You need to get your midfield in check and in order. So, yeah, I would love Lautaro Martinez. If I'm him, you can't go from being linked to City and Barcelona to signing for Arsenal. It don't make sense. Anything can happen. You know, I'd rather sign for Chelsea at this moment in time. They've won the Champions League. They look like they need a striker, and all of that sort of stuff. Or personally, I'd stay at Inter Milan. You know, there's a World Cup next year. I'm feeling good. You know, I'm feeling good in my current situation. If I do my job with my contract running down and I keep doing what I've been doing this year, Barca and these teams might come back in for me. I know they've went and got Sergio Aguero where Barca's concerned. Real Madrid might get some money or other things might happen. City might go back in for you. They might even try to buy you this window, depending on what happens with Kane. And also, you know, you've just won the Serie A. Would you not want to try and retain it against a good Juventus side and whatnot? You've got a good thing going with you. And I'm sure Inter Milan don't want to sell any other players since they've got rid of Hakimi. Money talks. You put money on the table. Even Arsenal could get things done. But there's a lot of ifs, buts, and maybes and whatnot. And the latest one, naturally, because we want Lautaro Martinez allegedly and they want Hector Bellerin, there's been linked with a swap deal. I would love it, but Inter Milan would be zanging themselves. They'd be shooting themselves in the foot, really and truly, if they did commit to that. Allegedly, Hector Bellerin's agent, you know, is putting his foot down and trying to engineer a move a bit more, which he should have been doing. We did hear in previous weeks in the summer that he's visited Betis, he's visited Villarreal, he's had talks with Arsenal, he's trying to resolve the future of his client. But, you know, whether it's been the fee that Arsenal are prepared to accept, the fee that our team is prepared to offer, or actually personal terms, it hasn't happened, innit? Bellerin, it just hasn't happened. So if I share my screen with you, there's a bag of stuff related to where Bellerin is. Close that tab because that's about Bruno Guimarães. Actually want to, you know, shout out to Google Translate once again. What's this one? That's Sol Campbell. Apparently, Bellerin's agent in London on Thursday today to break the deadlock. In the event of a black smoke, Inter will turn to Udinese's right back, Molina. And there's probably, you know, they've been linked with Dumfries, now Molina, probably a bunch of other targets. Allegedly, negotiations between Italian champions of Inter and fullback Hector Bellerin has come to a standstill. The player's will is clear. He strongly wants Inter. Apparently, we've heard he's agreed personal terms. But the agreement between the two clubs is needed to unlock the deal. And for the moment, the parties are far away. Inter would like a loan with the right to redemption. Arsenal said no. The English club want the sale outright for 20 million euros. And you have heard rumors that, you know, Inter want an option to buy. We want an obligation. There's a key word in that, and it's the obligation. You know, yeah, it might be attractive if he goes to Inter for a year. You know, he somehow looks like the Hector Bellerin we thought he was going to be when he first broke on the scene. We'd have a right back there for next year, or we'd have someone that's got a year left and on his deal and could spark a bidding war. You know, if he follows in what's happened with Torreira and he goes to another club and he stinks up the place, you know, your stock's going to fall even more. And, you know, if it somehow falls even more at Inter, I don't know how it could fall any lower than it is already. You know, we're going to struggle even more to move him on. And, you know, I think 20 million euros, that's what probably about 15, 16 million pounds. I think that's about right. And to be honest with you, you know, I still wouldn't be up for it because I'm pretty sure Bellerin is going to collect handsome wages. As I've said, as for the player, he has an agreement with Inter on the basis of a 5-year deal for 3.5 million euros plus potential bonuses. This could be an important week on Thursday. A trip to London by the fullback's attorney, Alberto Bontains, is planned to unlock the situation. From the outcome of it will be decided the future of the negotiations for the player who should be in Inter's plans to replace Hakimi. From Inter, there's still a lot of optimism about the white smoke of the negotiation. In the event of black smoke, as I said, they will turn their attentions to Udinese's right back. So it is what it is in where Bellerin's concerned. Apparently, just to reiterate that, Hector Bellerin's exit looks to be accelerating after his agent met with the club's hierarchy on Thursday. Despite having 2 years left on his deal, there seems to be a growing inevitability that the 26-year-old time in North London is coming to an end. We have been linked with Max Aarons and, pardon me, Tyler Adams, who has the ability to play there. Italian publications once again are reporting that Arsenal are meeting, and clearly, you know, you need to tell your client to calm down his wage demands, or you need to try and get Arsenal to accept less for your client. You know, you have to. I'm sure you want an Italian venture like what's his face, Granit Xhaka. Apparently, Inter would prefer a loan deal, something Arsenal have little interest in, to be fair with you. Bellerin's representatives have reportedly appealed to the club to accept a loan with an obligation. I think if that's genuinely put on the table, keyword obligation, they will do it. We cannot make heavy investments and will act with creativity, trying to seize any opportunities. Many clubs will not be able to spend practically anything, and that's true. So, yeah, on top of having a player that many people don't want on big wages, it's our madness, people. Have to see, man. Oh yeah, man. I mean, there was a point in life almost spilt that we was rejecting 40 something million from Barcelona. How times change, people. You know. Like you could see here, where Lautaro Martinez is, Atletico would be good. Sorry to break you lot's hearts. Martinez only interested in leaving Inter for Real Madrid, Barcelona, or Atletico after the Gunners make ambitious inquiry. We've inquired about him. We've put an offer down for Locatelli. The cynical Arsenal fans would say we're inquiring and making offers for people. We know we've got low opportunity to get people. Apparently, according to a journalist, Martinez wouldn't be tempted by a move. Now, for what it's worth, I'm not saying I don't think Arsenal can get him, but for what it's worth, unless this agent, unless this guy is his dad, his agent, or someone, it doesn't matter what he has to say, really and truly. Money talks, things can happen. Many people didn't think we'd sign Ozil. I don't think it's gonna happen, but you have to be wary of things. Money talks and things can happen in football. Football always humbles us. And we know he's a good player, and rightly so. You should be only interested in joining them sort of man there. I'd say 2 of the 3, really, because Inter to Atletico are probably a better side and doing better things, but I would describe it as somewhat a sideward step personally. Shout out to both of them. They're both league champions and they're both quality clubs and whatnot. Let me type in Bellerin swap, because while that's been reported, I haven't seen an article that's specifically about that. So yeah, as you lot can see, we don't even need to click any articles, man. Let's see what this is. I think I've got this up here. Arsenal may have 4 players Inter may accept in Lautaro Martinez swap deal. Let's see how creative this person's been. Let me guess. Hector Bellerin. What, we're gonna throw Granit Xhaka out there? We're gonna say Leno. Let me see. I'm scrolling all the way down purposely. Lacazette, fair play. We could offer Lacazette if they were to let Martinez go, assuming they'd accept Lacazette's wages, with them needing to save money. Assuming. That man said Aubameyang. I'm coming off this. Man said Aubameyang, safe. So yeah, that's that. What are you lot saying though, people? That's where Martinez and Bellerin are concerned. The quicker we get rid of Bellerin, the better. If I'm honest, we all know really he's not to blame for all our problems, but people like that are not going to take the club forward. They're just going to go sideways. And every 5 games, we're going to swear this is the new Bellerin with every knot. It's not going to happen. I mean, we're signing players that are developing, my bro, because Lokonga is not the finished article. Ben White might be signed for 50 million and be in the England squad if you look at it in terms of a headline. But when you go beneath the hood, he's got a good foundation to build upon. But he's not, he's played 1 season in the Premier League. Tavares is 21. So we are signing people who need development. And to be fair, I hear you with the Premier League proven stuff, but unless you're signing actual good Premier League players like Maddison, there's no point. If you're continuing the same penny pinching with the individuals we have, there isn't that. And I think Smith Rowe will be allowed to grow Gooner 72 regardless. At the end of the day, he's number 10 playing for Arsenal Football Club. That's a target on your back. That's like being Tony Montana. Everyone wants your spot. It's like Saka with that number 7 shirt. Or if you got number 7 at United or number 9 at any of these clubs, if Martinelli or Balogun grab number 9, the only way is that I'm happy you're there, but the only way is down or to stay at that point. When you're world champion, you can become undisputed, you can unify belts, but once you get to that point, the only way is down. Everybody's onto you, sort of thing. So again, as much as I love the Haaland boys and I want to wrap them in cotton wool, this is Arsenal Football Club. You're wearing number 10. It's serious business. If he does what he did when Odegaard initially came in, fought for the spot, there was no problems. Made the best man win. Arsenal fans, not saying you, but I do think we do this thing like, we need depth, but if we get this guy's not going to play. And, we got to be ruthless, but this guy's turned his form around. I think we're not as ruthless as a fan base as we want to be, or fans wouldn't twerk for some of these mediocre players and fall for these what's that thing where it's every touch, and we've seen it every time there's a good game, every touch of several players that we've tried to sell for years, players that aren't bad, but they're just not going to take us forward. We're just going to sit here saying the same old things again and again and again and again and again. Bro, it's like being like Tony Montana, bro. It's like being at the top. Like, there's no way but down. It's like Pep Guardiola, like, it's or Sir Alex Ferguson, better yet. You win the treble, obviously you can do quadruple and madness, but there's no getting better than that. People want your spot. Once you win, if Sir Alex Ferguson, everyone wanted to be the first manager to smack him up after winning the treble, or Arsene Wenger with the Invincibles. Everyone wanted to be the first guy to claim that. Oh, it's like a rapper that's buzzing. He's got a chain. The idiots want to be the first guy to say, I popped it. There's only way but down. And that, if you're number 7 for any club, let alone Arsenal, or 7, or 8 or 4 or 14, you've got to be levels, or you've got to want competition. This is Arsenal Football Club. This ain't Smith Rowe FC. This ain't Saka FC, as much as I love them. I hear you. And this is why I said, my guy, well, for what it's worth, I feel you, DG, but then again, I think the market dictates the order of signings. Everyone's playing hardball. I hear you. I agree with you, but we know that for one, and I hear you. And this is why I said I will shut up with real moaning until the end of the window, because as you lot know, we've already got the double whammy of players that are mediocre on high wages, and we struggle to shift. And like you said, the market is mashed up for COVID and variety of reasons. Like Real Madrid were in problems before COVID. It's been highlighted more. So that's where we're in it. Everyone is playing hardball. That's why I'm kind of in wait and see mode. But, I don't want to hear you tried for Locatelli, you tried for Bruno. We showed ambition with Maddison. If Joe Bloggs, who's got a dodgy knee, and he the other team he was at didn't want to give him a new deal because they don't think he can play 10 games. So we've given him a 5-year deal, and we're expecting a madness. And he might play in his first game, and he might fraud it, and then you see how much of a waste of money he is. I don't want these dodgy Dave signings. If you can, I don't listen. We all want big names. We all want the Madisons and all of these guys that excite the fans. But if you can find me someone from a lesser division, a lesser team, a less household name, and he does the job, that's cool. As long as there's proactability. Now, the club have kind of showed me that. You've got Lokonga in early. You've got Tavares in early to be back up. You've done what you need to do. But as I said, we start as we mean to go on. If the window shuts tomorrow, we ain't done enough. You'd imagine Chelsea sign a striker. You'd imagine other clubs that need to do business, even though they've probably been delayed, them and City, they'll make something happen. I actually think the only fans that might be disappointed is probably Arsenal and Liverpool, just based on what I see Liverpool fans that I follow and talk to say. They seem to be very pessimistic with in relation to what they feel FFG is going to do. So it is what it is. Spurs maybe, but the names they're being linked with, they're actively trying to sign people, and they've got that Patrici Don who seems to know more than Edu. And I'm not trying to belittle Edu and stuff, but instantly, not to praise Spurs either, but that Patrici Don's come in and they've signed a young guy in Brian Gill. They're being linked and actually actively trying to sign a bunch of players from the Italian league. They get someone on loan. They're in talks for Romeo. They tried to buy the Japanese right back. I can't remember his name. They're being linked. So what I'm not being linked doesn't mean anything, but you can see someone with expertise in Italy is utilizing them links to get people in. We've been Edu's coming. I ain't seen us link with no one from Brazilian league, Brazilian players. Martinelli, I can't really give him because we're hearing it's other scouts. Marie can't really give him. Arteta, again, he's not a scout, but you're a head coach. You're a Spaniard. When we've got Vieira's over there at Palace, you're seeing a couple people roll in from France. I ain't really seeing no one coming in from La Liga, someone playing for a little Elche that no one knows about, but he can come here and do a job. I'm not really seeing none of that, really and truly. Oli, Norwegian, it didn't bang, but he tried to get in Ireland. You get it? And Norway's not the best of example because I can't list a lot of Norwegian ballers, but if there is a Norwegian baller that's half decent that comes up next, you can imagine United are going to know about him or be linked with him. What they do past that is their problem and their business. So I would like to see a bit more in that regards, but that's just me, man, really. I haven't really seen it. And I'm not necessarily saying, obviously, primarily, bring us the young and exciting players. If you can find a new Neymar and Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, fair play. But I'm asking for, yeah, can you do that? But can you get us a little 25-year-old that can play in midfield and offer us what these Hours and these Madisons and these guys might have offered, but considerably cheaper? Can you get a goalie or a defender like with Marie that's been around the block and they're not really a name like that, but they can come here and do something? Can you plug the gaps? You know, is there even random stuff like I don't know? Let's just make it up now. You know, some guy from 4th Street like me playing in the Brazilian league and he's been there for time and he's a decent right back. Can you do them under the radar once? Because that's what we need, innit? Surely if we need to outsmart the market, we can't be going for all of these guys. Because if we get into bidding wars, there's issues, man. A man said, please, can you tell me about my team, Chelsea? Bro, I don't know what you want me to tell you about Chelsea, my guy. What am I sipping on? Magnum and Cherry Coke still. Kareem Adeyemi, bro. P-Mav. Shout out the Twitch gang as well. Random thought, imagine a healthy DRB alongside Partey. It'd be amazing, but broski, man, can't live in an imaginary world because we finished 6th. We need a real life partner for him, my bro. Real life one. Inter have to clear 40 million off their wage bill just to start the season. That equates to their 3 highest paid players. They are going to have to sell Lukaku or Laturo to stay afloat. Keenan, if you put it like that, we've got a chance. If there's a sniff of a chance to do it, go and do it. That's all I want to see, but I can't see it, man. Appreciate you so much. Love and respect to the one and only DG, representing for the future. I appreciate you, and on behalf of everyone, you know, wishing you a good evening and continued health and that, man. Did you see that Porto and Roma had a brawl because Pepe did a bone crunch on Mkhitaryan? No, I never saw that, but I'll look at that on YouTube when this is done, man. Do you think 45 million plus Bellerin would be enough for Martinez? I mean, it'd be 65. They're saying worth 65 million based on what we're saying Bellerin's worth. And I'd say it's just a 45 million pound bid. That could be enough to get over the line. But I feel if I was into, I'm shortchanging myself still. Personally. Odegaard from Norway. Obviously, I don't know what happened with that one there, but it is what it is. Ruthlessness and club standards go hand in hand, DG. Good point. Good point. Good point. Do you rate Arteta as a genuine motivator? I do. I do think he's able to motivate the squad. I do think he's that. But the problem is, I think Emre could do that. As much as I critique the managers, I feel some of these players, and this is why I want new guys, they have to be able to motivate themselves, because anytime you need a manager's pep talk, it's too volatile, you know? And I feel that that's why we're at it on occasions. That's why we win what I call losing the battle, where at the end of the day, we finish 8th. Our club is still a mess. Nothing's gone on, but we've won, you know, we've lost the war, but we've won the little battles which fans can, you know, say, even though United are in the Champions League, we took 4 points off you. We did the double over Chelsea. We beat Spurs. We did this. It don't mean any, of course, it doesn't mean, it's not that it doesn't mean anything. You know, top 6 is top 6, or big games is big games, but it hasn't done much for us. That's what I call losing the war sort of thing. You know, for every Kieran Tierney, we can name a bag of poor signings. You know, for every Martinelli, bag of poor signings. Gabriel and Partey, I still say the jury's out, but for every time with that, how many guys have we had? You get, we're losing wars and winning battles in the transfer market. Everyone takes L's, everyone gets things wrong, but it's about minimizing them. Too many of our silence polarize opinion and all of these sort of things, man. But we've been down this road, man, and we're going to go down it again and again and again until individuals want to learn from their mistakes. But the definition of insanity, as you lot know, is doing the same thing again and again and again and still expecting something different to happen. But let's see, innit? Opinions on Diego Carlos. I feel like he's better than Conde. We should be after him. He's Brazilian too. Bit too aggressive for me, and I like aggressive defenders. Nah, he's decent, but nah, I'd leave that one for me anyways. I don't think your first comment, my guy, but love anyways. I big up Barbados. I see someone saying love from Barbados, but the comment's gone. I don't trust anyone, bro. I just critique and praise where I see fair. Again, I always say to you, look, the big money mismanagement is one thing. We could sit here and, like I always say, whether Pepe is a good player or not, which I think he is, you bring up 10 Arsenal fans here, 5 are probably going to say he's good. Other people are going to say another thing. If I throw Xhaka, Pepe, Lacazette, you know, these sort of Mustafi, just to paint a picture, all of these things, they're going to polarize opinion. It's not just the big money signings, though. It's the loan signings, you know. Did we get value for Odegaard to play devil's advocate? Bit unfair to throw him in. Ceballos was here for 2 years. Did he justify them couple of millions that it took each year to bring him? You know, Kyle Strong, I'm being a bit harsh, but I'm painting a picture. It's the bit, you know, the free transfers, you know, Willian, Mkhitaryan and Kolasinac. How expensive in the grand scheme of things did that prove for Arsenal? You know, penny pinching with centre halves and needing some over and over and over again. Like you said, Runnison. So yeah, I can't trust anyone in it really, because there's inconsistencies really, and I don't really know the sort of individual we're trying to look for really, or what we are as a club. So I can't imagine it's any different at the top with the people that actually make the decisions, in my opinion. But see, man, AP Mav, don't know what that is, but do that for me as well, my guy. How many elite ballers do we have? None. Elite, like right now, elite to me is world class. There's not a single world class player within that squad. With respect to them, you know, there's not a single guy. That thing is thrown around way too easily. You know, there's guys that can ball, but there's none of that. As well, people, allegedly, Martin Odegaard only wants a loan spell here at this club. I can't find the actual article, but if Odegaard only wants a loan, just taking the rumor at face value, there's no point bringing him to the club. Like, for me anyways, there's no point bringing him to the club. I can't find the actual article, but the best I can do is this, folks. Pardon me. You know, allegedly, you know, I follow all of these little websites and things, and they've all got the articles. Apparently, Martin Odegaard prefers a loan to Arsenal over a sale. Odegaard would be willing to return to Arsenal. He would prefer a loan to not lose the possibility of being a Madrid star for the future. And as you don't know, he's got 2 years left on his contract now. He could come to Arsenal, bad it up, and Madrid could sell him, or he could go elsewhere, or he could go back to Madrid. What I'm not a fan of, it's permanent or nothing. Now, if we get Odegaard on loan, then for me, it tells me that we weren't able to really find the target, or we didn't know what he's doing, because we're developing, you know, we're developing a player that's not for us, really. We're growing someone else's, a tree for someone else, and we're not seeing any of the fruits. It don't make no sense, you know. It'd be great if he shows that he's finally ready. It'd be great if, you know, he plays so well for Arsenal that it sparks a bidding war. You know, the bigger teams in the league, other teams might get involved. But for Arsenal, who does that help? It doesn't make sense. If he wants a loan, I'm not really with it. Now, I do think he would be professional. You know, I'm not saying just because he would be here on loan just to humor this for what it is. You know, he wouldn't be professional. He wouldn't care. But I mean, come on now, you know. Are we a side chick or whatever? He keeps wanting to run back to the main. He's just using us as a safe haven. Forget all of that. If he doesn't want to sign permanently, well, we've heard it's a 35 million to 50 million, 35 to 50 million valuation. You know, they've got to make a decision on him. We're hearing Carlo, based on after preseason, or during preseason, better yet, at this moment, has question marks over him. What's the point? You know, we hear he's unsettled, so clearly something has been said, or maybe hasn't been said as we get closer to the league starting, because all we heard is he's going to be part of the plans. Now we're starting to hear, you know, he wants to leave. No parties in Odegaard's party, and Real Madrid have ruled out a move. And then you're seeing a bit of other conflicting reports. If this is true at face value, forget it. You know, I don't begrudge him for wanting to make it at Madrid, for wanting to go out on loan, but I can begrudge my club for being that. Respect yourself. Let's get people who tie into what we're trying to do long term. If the man wants to return on loan, there's no point. You know, if it gets to the end of the window, we're not doing nothing and it's this or nothing, then of course I'm for it, but it doesn't send out good signals, really and truly. You know, are we trying to do this football club thing, or are we a nursery? Are we tutors? What's all of this about? You know, because we need to get things right. Really, we need to be planning next season with guys that are going to be here long term. If Odegaard comes on loan, then I don't want him to be a key part of the squad. You know, he could be a rotation option. He's someone that can be utilized, but we need to ingrain longevity and start to see our team take shape. We can do that with Smith Rowe in the 10, or another 10 to fight with Smith Rowe. You can do that with another 8 to go with Partey or Lokonga, or 2 of the 3. You can do that if you find a right back to go with what you're bringing in Ben White, in theory, Gabriel, Tierney on the left, and assuming Leno stays, sorting out Leno if something needs been. There's no longevity with Odegaard, because let's just say he bads it up, he ingrains himself into this team, he's better than Smith Rowe, you know, He's dictating the games. He's running the show. You know, he becomes that level that we've seen with Smith Rowe and Saka, that if these men are not playing well, we're not winning. And then he says, all right, Arsenal, thank you. I've got my confidence up. I got more consistent. I feel like I can do this thing at Madrid now. Safe. That leaves us short because we need to have looked for a target, and we can never be comfortable, because if this man comes on loan, I want my club to be still scouting number 8s and 10s and whatnot in the possibility that he says, you know what, I'm going back to Madrid. I don't want to sit here in another year and say, oh yeah, we're trying to get him permanently and things like that. With respect, you know, he might have to just, you know, Sociedad, I'm sure they'll be cool for it. If we're going to be this loan club, forget about it, really. You know, but as I said, there's conflicting reports, because Real Madrid allegedly have set an asking price, and they're open to selling him. You know, whether offers arrive are two different things. You have some reports say 35 million to 50. This is said 42.5 million pounds, 50 million euros for the attacker Martin Odegaard. Arsenal apparently monitoring James Maddison and are considering Odegaard, people. Apparently, Carlo Ancelotti is thought to still be unsure over whether he sees the player as part of his long-term plans. With respect to Carlo, I rate Carlo, but such is the Real Madrid role, you might not be there long term. You know, Zidane, it was all Zidane doesn't feel him. Zidane's gone. Now we heard he was going to get a new lease of life. Apparently, according to ESPN, a big money offer could tempt Los Blancos to sell, and they're kind of broke by their own standards, so they might need to. You know, the minute Varane was courted by Man United, Real Madrid were ready to sell. You know, you hear they want Mbappe. I'm pretty sure they won't buckle at taking 40, 50 million pounds. And we could probably give him better wages than 85 million a week, which even by Madrid standards is quite low. Probably reflects his standing in the team at this current moment in time. When you look at this one, though, crucially, people, while we know he's considering his future, apparently the Norwegian has not yet made a final decision, since until now he dreamed of succeeding at Real Madrid. In recent days, he has realized that he was very happy in London, and I mean, it's too volatile for me. The player knows that Arsenal want to recover him and will have him in their ranks again, and that has generated his doubts. Odegaard seems to be ready to leave for Real Madrid for the Emirates. Now, if you're ready to leave permanently and kick off your career post, post Real Madrid, then you know what you need to do, and I'm all for that. Again, I like Odegaard. I want Odegaard to come to the club. But if it's on a loan, just forget about it, man. What's this? No, it's the same thing. So apologies, people. So yeah, that's how I feel in relation to Odegaard. Please make sure you're hitting that like button, folks. 1 hour and 50 seconds. So yeah, that's what that is. Bro, bare bare links, not enough players, man. Side piece central, man. Side piece central. Big up Kenya in the building. Appreciate you guys. So yeah, man. I don't want to be someone else's development thing. It doesn't make no sense. Like, it really doesn't make any sense. Apparently, Ben White has signed an Arsenal contract. But again, is he on the website? Not yet. Not quite. Ben White isn't quite there yet. So yeah, man. Apparently, Ben White's had the second part of his medical, but it is what it is. Some people have said he's allegedly signed. Whether he's signed or not is a different thing. But let's rise up the rumors. Let me actually, first things first, let me load up Charles Watts' channel. Man said channel. Big up to his channel. He does good YouTube work. You know, very much plugged in. But I meant his YouTube account. I said YouTube again. I meant his Twitter account. And when I share my screen, allegedly Ben White has been at London Coley today, finalising the move to Arsenal. That was yesterday. That's actually not what I was trying to bring up, because again, was it him or James Baines? One of them said it. Before we look at that, people, who said that? Someone said, or was it Chris? Someone said Ben White has signed for this football club, which I'm pretty sure he probably has officially signed his contract, you know, and he's probably undertaking the photographs and all of these sort of things for the club before he's eventually unveiled, people. You know, I can't lie. I've mentioned it, so I have to find Ben White signs. I have to find it. There's even rumors he signed a 4-year deal, 5-year deal, all of these other things, people. So I don't think I'll be able to find the actual article, but We can see the latest. Apparently, an announcement is expected anytime soon. That's who had it, people. You know, the close range finisher. That's his name. It's just apologies, people. It's just hit me. Who I saw it with. You know, I follow all of these transfer dons, so they all look the same in terms of how, the tweets they make and stuff. But scrolling all the way down, yep, Chelsea are getting Conde. Grealish seems to be going. City, they're all amazing transfers. Spurs are still trying to make signings as well. Areola's still going somewhere. Joe Hart could be going somewhere. But I scrolled all the way down. I was going to give up there. Apparently, Fabrizio Romano has said Ben White has signed his contract with Arsenal until June 2026, which is a 5-year deal. An official announcement soon. We hear that, you know, he's been at London Coley these last few days, completing the necessary parts of his medical. You know, hopefully it's announced before we play Arsenal and Chelsea face off. You know, apparently Arsenal and Brighton too. Paperwork's completed between Arsenal and Brighton too for a 50 million fee. There's still nothing agreed for Bellerin. Apparently both Inter Milan and Arsenal sources are probably denying any rumours in that. So Ben White, allegedly, if we take Fabrizio Romano's word, is officially an Arsenal player, more so than we know already. But the latest I saw is he was at the ground finalising his 50 million Arsenal move after his medical, people. He's set to sign. He completed his medical over these last 2 days. Negotiations have went smoothly. We know he cut price. He cut his holiday. And hopefully after Ben White is confirmed, people, we can get towards obviously trying to sign Maddison and these other amazing players that we've quote unquote been linked with. But I would also say getting rid of certain players, getting rid of some outgoings, you know, the Bellerins, the Torreiras, the Xhakas, and so on and so forth. Can we just stop them being a talking point at Arsenal? These players that are in the halfway house, as I describe it, they're half one foot in, 1 foot out. 1 minute at the club, then they can go, they can stay, they can go, they can go, they can stay, and all of these sort of things, people. But that's that. What are you guys saying? Big up everyone in the chat. Please make sure you hit the like button. Bro, we really need Nketiah, Nelson, Xhaka, Kolasinac, Runnison out ASAP. I'd say you could spare Nelson. The rest could go. Nelson loan thing, bro. Big up Kenya if I haven't said that already. Why have we played people we want to get rid of so much during preseason? I'd rather have given more minutes to the Halen boys. Daniel, I wish I had an answer for you. Truth is, I don't know, man. Man said, don't let the links distract you from the fact that Willian is still here. I don't think that anyone can get distracted from that, man. I really don't think so. PW, love for that. I'll answer it again in the Q&A because I see what you've said, but I've answered it already. But to humor you, you know, I'm pretty sure I said Leno if he's here, Chambers if he's here, Ben White, Marie, Tierney, Partey, Lokonga, assuming nobody signed, Smith Rowe in the 10, Saka and Pepe on either flank, and Aubameyang. Admittedly, I am leaning towards Lacazette a bit more in that regards, though. He's not worth 40 mil. It's a harsh, man. Appreciate the super chat. Salute, good brother. Hope you and your family are well. Always, my guy. And I hope your family are also doing well and everybody else as well, man. DG names every social platform but Twitter. Twitter, man. Shout out the Twitter gang as well. Big up the Twitch gang. It's Cap DG. It probably is all Cap, man. I would love Bruno like everyone, but I can't think it's happening, man. Just having dinner, bro. You're so entertaining to watch. Sakayo Baka. Appreciative, man. Hyperlink FC. You lot kill me, man. Remember, January isn't too far away, bro. Who do you think would be a good addition for January? My guy, we need to get through August first. I can't think that far ahead. Hey, DG, do you think we'll have to cover some of the salary of Bellerin or Kolasinac to move them, mama? I'd say more so Kolasinac, really. But probably there is a situation that you might have to cover several of these players. Come on, people. I've done my YouTube bit and hit the likes. Now it's Twitch gang. Big up, DG. Enough love, bro. Appreciate you, Paul. Bro, Sakayo Baka, that's an incredible name, man. Incredible name, man. Thoughts on Holding and his performances in preseason? I think he's been all right. The one defender that, for me, impressed me and looks head and shoulders above everyone is Pablo Marie, personally. Appreciate you. Appreciate the JA Tugs locked in. Good opinion. I'm not too sure if Martinez is a smart bit of business. On his day, he is outstanding, but those days have been fewer over the past seasons. To be fair, he did have a good last year, but it is true, man. I have a feeling Bellerin will stay. How would you feel, DG? Then it is what it is. I expect a lot of these players to stay. We've just got to move on and get on with it, really. You know, what I don't want to see is just giving people chances for no reason. If you earn your spot, fair play, but he's clearly not in your plans. Chambers was kind of in your plans. Roll with that then. If something happens, you get your opportunity. It's just I don't want to see where it looks like someone doesn't have a future here. They ain't played for about 3-4 games. They're randomly thrown in. Yeah, I'm not really with that. I want to see a bit more clarity over hierarchies and things like this, man. I'm more so on an 8 instead of a 10. So I'd say hour. I'm happy with either one, but yeah, man. Basuma, lovely player, but not quite what we need, man. You know, you've got Lokonga, you've got Partey. I'd be open to Basuma, but you know, they're all irrelevant to me if we're playing against a low block. You get it? So it is what it is. I don't know why we're not getting Pereira. I would have had a look at Pereira, but he seems to be going to Dubai. Doesn't apart from Arsenal being interested in Madison and what you already know, it don't seem to be anything else. If we could get Bernardo Silva, I'd be up for it, but it's easier said than done. This is a personal question a bit, but don't you get a little down if a video on YouTube isn't doing well or isn't getting enough views compared to others? How do you get part above that part as a YouTuber? Don't watch other people if you're talking about other YouTubers, but I'd say rather than getting your feelings, try and figure things out. You know, is it because of how I titled it? You know, could I have titled it a bit better? You know, could it have been a bit more clickbaity? Could it have been less clickbaity, for example? You know, is it the time factors? Is it the algorithms? You know, why didn't it work? Why have others worked? You know, the minute you get out your feelings and you do other things, you get places. And it's always a humbling experience. I don't think there's time to get down. You get down, you're getting emotional about it. The marketplace decides, innit? So yeah, man. Is there any other Arsenal transfer news? Admittedly, I just wanted to see something along the lines of Ben White officially signs and we can move towards, I hope, a right back and a centre mid. I think Bellerin leaving would be as good as that. Allegedly, Arsene Wenger's been linked with the Switzerland job. Ruben Neves, it looks like United are moving closer to him. People, if you go on reports, if we look at this, let me share my screen with you guys. Manchester United transfer deal for Ruben Neves far down the line. And I mean, how far can it be without deciding what's going on with Paul Pogba? But Manchester United have a transfer deal for Ruben Neves reasonably far down the line. It's been claimed the Portugal international has been recently linked with a move to Old Trafford. And though Arsenal want to snap up the midfielder, he could be primed to join Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side instead. Man United want a new midfielder this summer. He's talking about their transfer business, which has no relevance. You know, I know they like Saul. They've been linked with Saul for a while. Keeping up tasks with Ruben Neves. To be honest, it doesn't say anything about Ruben Neves. Is there any truth to this? It doesn't say anything so far. You know, it hasn't said there's a medical, there's been a breakthrough, there's been talk and whatever. But for what it's worth, he said, I'm being told that Neves' pursuit is genuine. And while Arsenal are the most active in trying to get that over the line, United are still in the conversation. So it's a bit conflicting because the article leads us to believe United are within touching distance of signing him. Now it seems like Arsenal are the most advanced. United are in the conversation. So it's almost hypocritical. I get it, you know, journalists need to get paid and need to do the clickbaity things. Jack Otway, shout out to you, but what else could I say, people? You know, it was flattered to deceive that article, didn't it? I'd prefer Locatelli for what it's worth. Oh, somebody's right. We did get linked with Kulusevski as well. Sorry, people. Let me go. United beat Arsenal to never signing slash Arsenal want Kulusevski. And I mean, I would love Kulusevski. I'd play him as a 10. He can play on the flank. He didn't have the best of Euros because he's struggling with injuries. He signed for Juventus. Do you not remember Wenger wanted him? What was he at, like Parma or something like that? He's an absolute player. But Juventus, between Dybala, which they're trying to get signed a new deal, Chiesa, who allegedly what's his face? What's their team's name? Liverpool have bidded for or not bidded for, you know, and obviously Kulusevski, they could be set with the future. You throw in Deluded and you throw in a couple of players. If they grab Locatelli, Juventus are laughing more so than they are already. But it seems like Kulusevski has a lot of offers when you look at it. Not as high as your mother's best when I launched them in my face, mate. But anyways, moving forward, Arsenal, Liverpool, Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester City are among the clubs to have looked at Dejan Kulusevski recently. As you lot know, apologies, it wasn't Atalanta. Well, yeah, he was on loan at Parma, but they agreed a deal with Atalanta for the forward in January 2020 and allowed him to compete on loan at Parma, finishing with 10 goals. Sorry, he was at Atalanta. He went on loan to Parma. That's where I remember him from. But Wenger was linked. We were linked with him way before that under Wenger, when he was like 16. I remember Wenger speaking about it. Apparently, the 21-year-old, as you'd expect, moving to a bigger club, has struggled to replicate his Parma form in his debut season. Only 4 goals and 3 assists. And sometimes he weren't always played in the best roles from what I could see at Juventus. And he has had some injuries. Apparently, he cannot be crucified for his performances last season, and the technical leaders of the Turin club still have a lot of faith in him. In recent weeks, Juventus have pampered the player and have rejected polls carried out by the Gunners, City and Bayern Munich. The Serie A giants have informed his entourage Kulusevski is not on the exit camp. Allegedly, they've also gone to explain Arsenal, along with Spurs and Liverpool, showed interest in the attacker, and these clubs have made some moves in recent weeks for the Swede. A potential deal, however, seems complicated due to Juventus' stance that Kulusevski is non-transferable. So unless you're going to give them something that they can't refuse to not accept, you can forget about it. Like, it's not happening, is it? It's what it is in that regard. Can't even spell Kulusevski. Let me actually be shameless and read. Big up to EAA because you've spelled Kulusevski correctly. Kulusevski. Here we have it. Very cold. Would you take Ollie Watkins to replace Aubameyang? Myth. You'd imagine Saka's due back in training in the next couple of weeks. You'd imagine. Chelsea seem to be getting him. I think, oh yeah, you are a Chelsea fan. It's going to be a good signing. He needs a lot of work, but I think in the back three will be good, man. I think it'll be a good sign. He's still got a lot of developing to do. Good day from Florida. How long do you give the coach if Arsenal loses 5 games out of the first 10? Then, boy, you got until Christmas, boy. And then, it's a myth, innit? It probably should be Lacazette if we played Brentford tomorrow, but I'd go over Aubameyang. Who do you think is going to be player of the season? Not a clue. I hope it's Aubameyang. I'm talking positivity for Aubameyang into existence. I want him to remind people of who he is, if I'm completely honest with you. But I can't lie, people. We've been here for an hour and 16 minutes. So, yeah, man, I'm going to get out of here. I'm getting quite hungry right now, to be honest with you. Please make sure you're here at 11:30 a.m. tomorrow. You're here slightly earlier than that because I think I'm going live prior to that stream as well. 4 p.m. exclusive to Twitch. We've got the Twitch watch. I meant said Twitch watch along. We've got the Twitch Q&A. So if you want to ask questions and whatnot, please make sure you're over there. If you're not there, then it can't happen, really and truly. I lied to you about the YouTube Q&A. That's Saturday, but you get the point anyways. Bare content, DG podcast on YouTube, Spotify and Apple to come tomorrow as well. So yeah, I appreciate you lot, man. On that note, I'm going to get out of here. Hit the like button on your way out, and yeah, I'll see you lot tomorrow. Stay safe, stay blessed.